welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking all about your moon sign. Your moon sign is one of the most important placements in your birth chart, and it's the sign that people tend to think is the most accurate to who they are, and it typically resonates with people a lot more than their sun sign. That is because your moon sign is honestly who you really truly are on the inside. We usually think of our moon sign as who we are on an emotional level, which it does have to do with our emotions, but it's a lot deeper than that. It's who we are when we are comfortable to be our most vulnerable and really be our true authentic selves. And it also reflects how we initially react to things, our instinctive way of thinking. It has a lot to do with our mental state, and most people are not going to see this side of you, even though it's really your truest self. Our moon sign is how we react to emotions, how we process emotion. If you feel like your sun sign isn't accurate, check your birth chart. Your moon sign is going to probably resonate a whole lot more. So we're gonna go through all 12 signs. There will be timestamps down below so you can skip ahead to yours, but as I always say, check the moon signs of your lover, your friends, the people closest to you so you can get to understand them a little bit better. So let's get started. Starting with Aries moons, Aries is a fire sign, and Aries is an energy that is very blunt and can almost be like a little bit aggressive at times. Aries is kind of like a very like youthful, childlike type of energy, and it's very impulsive. So an Aries moon usually will just like feel whatever emotion they're feeling and then express it, like without really thinking about it. So they kind of always like say what's on their mind, say how they feel. They're very blunt about it. They don't really hold back. But this can kind of go one or two ways, because at times an Aries moon can come off to be aggressive or even like a little mean or like careless, like they just said whatever came, to their mind in the moment. But I actually think that's a really good quality about Aries moons, because like there's no BS with an Aries moon. What you see is what you get. They're pretty honest and straightforward with how they're feeling. But like I said, on the other end of the spectrum, this can sometimes go south because an Aries moon can be impulsive and they are very quick to react usually. So if something rubs them the wrong way or pisses them off, they can sometimes just kind of like have almost like a bit of an emotional outburst without really thinking about it. But what you can always expect with an Aries moon is that they're being really authentic with their feelings. So whatever they're expressing in the moment is how they're really truly feeling in the moment. An Aries moon is also really action-oriented and very motivated. So one of the great qualities about an Aries moon is that they're super, super passionate, and they really don't care like what other people think. Aries is a sign that really plays by their own rules. So if there is something that an Aries wants to do, wants to say, wants to achieve, they're just gonna go out there and do it, and nobody can tell them no. And they're very authentic in that sense. Aries moons really need a safe outlet to express their emotions. So if you are like in a relationship with an Aries moon, it's really helpful to them to be supportive of how they feel. Even if it does come off like aggressive or really intense, they really need that outlet to kind of like let out their frustration and their anger. They really value freedom, and they're just very assertive. So like I said, what you see is what you get with an Aries moon. Aries moons are also very like leader type energies. They like to lead the way and carve their own path. And they're also very intuitive, and they usually just go with their first instinct. So whatever feels like the right choice to them at the time, they just go with it, and they really are very brave. The other thing with Aries moons is that even though they can be impulsive and kind of have like emotional outbursts at times, their moods and their feelings change just as quickly as they express them. So an Aries moon won't hold a grudge. Like you might piss an Aries moon off and they might like go off on you, but they do get over things really quickly, and they don't actually mean any harm. They just are very fiery in the way that they express their emotions. They really kind of take everything really personal. But again, they won't hold a grudge. And I feel like we think of Aries as like this angry energy because of like the Mars relation, but Aries is just as intense and passionate and direct and blunt when it comes to feelings of like love and really positive emotions. So they're not always angry, but they can be little firecrackers. Let's just put it that way. Aries moons are not really afraid to fight though if they need to. They'll stand up for themselves, for people that they care about. They have really high spirits. They're very just like alive individuals. They have a lot of like fire under their ass, and they're a very exciting type of person to be around. So Taurus moons. Taurus moon is a really, really beautiful placement. The moon really loves being in Taurus, and it feels very comfortable in Taurus. Taurus moons are very calm, very stable, very grounded. A Taurus moon really doesn't like conflict. Not that they avoid it, but their mindset is just focused on like finding a solution. They just are not going to like say harsh, mean things to you. They're not going to call you names. They're not going to walk all over you. They're really very calm with their emotions. Taurus moons really value stability and a safe place for their emotions. They're also very down to earth and very reliable. You can really count on a Taurus moon for anything. They will always be there for you. They will always stay true to their word. They'll keep their word. If they make a promise, they're not going to break it. A Taurus moon really finds value in like a stable home and just like building a foundation that is very sturdy and safe and reliable. Taurus moons also tend to like predictability. They don't really like surprises or like anything that just comes out of left field. They like to be really in control of their surroundings and their situation. Taurus moons are definitely creatures of habit. They are also very affectionate and compassionate and loving, but not in like a Cancer moon type of way. They're an earth sign, so very grounded and stable. They aren't like over the top romantics, but you do get that compassion and that love and that softness with a Taurus moon. Now, of course, Taurus energy is kind of known for being stubborn. So Taurus moons are usually like pretty set in their ways. They kind of like just have a really good idea of what they want their life to look like and the type of person that they are. They're just really capable of like standing on their own 2 feet, doing their own thing, doing what's best for them. Taurus moons, because they do value like security and like material items and money, they will be hesitant to involve themselves with a person or a situation that kind of threatens their like stability or threatens maybe their finances or something. They really will put a lot into someone or something, but they want to see the return on their investment. Anything that could just like come shake up their solid foundation, that's going to kind of scare a Taurus moon away. They're also very independent, but yet they really value family. They're really great with children, and yeah, they make a really good spouse, really good partner, somebody to build a life with. Gemini moon. So Gemini moon is kind of a fun placement. So Gemini is very much about our mind and intellect, and you know, they're ruled by Mercury, which is all about communication, and they're known as the communicator of the zodiac. So a Gemini moon is somebody who is very sharp, very witty. They love to banter, very funny. They have like very quick responses. They're quick on their toes. They can be like very sarcastic, but in a really fun and kind of like lighthearted way, not in like a mean-spirited way. They really value intellectual stimulation. So these people love to have conversation. They are mutable, so they can talk to anyone, and they enjoy talking to people. I feel like Gemini moons really like to like pick people's brains and kind of like analyze what's going on in people's minds. They really love to get to know all different types of people, and they love anyone that can really stimulate their mind and keep them, you know, and keep them thinking and keep them on their toes. Gemini moons are very smart because they are so intellectual. They usually have very busy minds. So one of the less ideal ways that this could go, this can manifest as like overthinking or mental anxiety. Because sometimes they always have so much going on in their mind that it can kind of consume them. If they don't have an outlet to express what's going on in their mind, that's when it can kind of become bottled up and like manifest as anxiety and like overthinking. So a Gemini moon will do really well with a person who likes to talk, is a great conversationalist, can, you know, like kind of banter back and forth with them. They are also very confident. Like I said, they can talk to anybody. Doesn't matter what room they're in, what people they're with. They know that they can communicate with anybody, and you can't really like catch them off guard. Like no matter what you say, they're gonna have a response, they're gonna have a like remark to come back at you with. Something interesting I noticed about Gemini moons is like you could be having a conversation with a Gemini moon and they will almost not be listening to every word you say because they are like analyzing and thinking about it in their mind, but they still know what you're saying. I don't know, this is probably only gonna make sense if you are a Gemini moon, but it's almost kind of like you can grasp the message that someone's saying to you, even if you're almost not really listening to the words they're saying because you're like making sense of it in your own mind. Again, that's probably only gonna make sense if you're a Gemini moon. Gemini moons can also be at times manipulative and like persuasive, but I guess that would be the good version of being manipulative. They really benefit from having a creative outlet to kind of get out all of the like mental craziness that's going on because they're always thinking, their mind is always going. They love to let you know how they're feeling by verbalizing it rather than being just like overly emotional. They really are great at talking and explaining and logically telling you how they feel. So that's a really positive thing about a Gemini moon is that they are able to take what they're feeling and put it into words and express it in a really great way. Whereas like some moon signs will really struggle to communicate how they're feeling, even though they might be feeling really, really intense emotions. So it doesn't really do any good if you can't verbalize how you're feeling to tell someone how you're feeling, and Gemini moons do a really good job of that. They're very playful, they like to have fun. You can really like cheer a Gemini moon up with like a funny joke or just something like very lighthearted, kind of like sarcastic. All right, Cancer moon. So first things first, when the moon is in Cancer, it is very comfortable because the moon is ruled by Cancer, so it's in its home sign when it's in Cancer. Cancer moons, number one, as we know, I feel like at this point, Cancer moons are very, very, very emotional. But the thing with Cancer moons is that they are so unbelievably in touch with their emotions that they really understand their emotions very well. Like some moon placements will have a hard time identifying what they're feeling. That's not the case with a Cancer moon. They really understand their emotions on such a deep level. And they're very sensitive to emotions. So Cancer moons tend to be incredibly, incredibly empathetic. They can look at somebody and feel what that person is feeling. They don't need words. They can just tell by your energy and just the way you are acting. They can tell how you're feeling. They are very nurturing, very, very loving. They do have like intense emotions. The thing with Cancer moons is that they really need to feel protected and very secure before they really let their walls down and open up emotionally. So they will, you know, kind of assess a situation and think like, okay, is it safe for me to be emotional? Is it safe for me to be vulnerable? Because they do have that protective crab shell and they are, you know, very sensitive, but again, they're so in touch with their emotions that they know what will easily hurt them. They know themselves so well that they're just very careful about who they open up to, and they really have to feel secure and protected before they open up. So if a Cancer moon is opening up to you emotionally, take that as a great sign that they feel very comfortable with you and also that they trust you. Cancer moons are incredibly loyal till the end. They make wonderful parents. They're great with family. They value family. Cancer and the moon is directly related to our home and our family. Some of the trickier parts of being a Cancer moon is that I tend to notice that Cancer moons, because they are so in touch with their emotions and they're so driven by their emotions, they can sometimes have a hard time letting go. So this can manifest in a way of like, maybe like holding a bit of a grudge or just like really having a hard time moving past something that was like emotionally difficult for them. They can kind of get stuck in the past and have a hard time letting go of things. Again, it's just because they're so connected to their emotions that if something like emotionally scars them, it could be hard for them to let go of that and really move forward. And Cancer moons can be moody. Obviously, this is part of being Cancer the crab. Cancer moons really value emotional connections. They want to have their emotional needs met, and in return, they will give all of them to somebody, but they are very sensitive. They do well with emotions. Cancer moons are not uncomfortable by the depths of their emotions. Of course, as a result of this, aside from Cancers being extra empathetic, they can be incredibly intuitive. They pick up on emotional cues so well. In fact, I don't know a Cancer moon that isn't like basically psychic or just very intuitive. They can pick up on the energies of other people and other people's emotions. They can really put themselves in another person's shoes. Cancer moons also tend to really value affection. So physical touch can be really great for a Cancer moon. It can make them feel very loved and nurtured and safe. Leo moons. So I love Leo moons. I love Leo in general. It is such a magnetic, vibrant, lively, just happy energy. So Leo moons are people that you love to be around. They have beautiful spirits. They light up a room. They're very fun to be around. Leo is a sign that really enjoys making other people feel good, but not in a way where they try and like butter you up and like douse you in compliments and like it isn't like that. It's just the energy that Leo brings really uplifts the energy of other people. Like Leo's confidence and optimism and just like magnetic vibes that they radiate really rub off on other people. Like a lot of times we think of Leo as being a sign that's like all about attention and me, but that's really not what it is. They like to be validated, but they validate other people. Like your Leo moon friend is the friend that hypes you up behind your back. You know what I mean? They do like to have their feelings validated. They love to be loved. It isn't because they need attention. It's just that they feel really good when they know that somebody sees and values their worth and the love that they give to people. They want that to be validated. They are also incredibly warm. So like they don't even have to say or do anything. Again, it's just the energy that radiates from their soul. It's very warm, it's very uplifting, it's very vibrant, it's very lively. You just feel really good around these people. They're super fun and playful and kind of like childlike in a really good way. They really act from their heart. Leos have huge hearts. So a Leo moon has a huge heart, really cares about people. Like the people they love, they will go to the other end of the earth for. Leo moons do like to be entertained. They like to be noticed. They want somebody to, give them love and affection. That really makes a Leo moon feel emotionally safe, is when they can visibly see that somebody like really loves them and is showing them that they love them. Now, on the other end of Leo moon, they can kind of come off a bit self-centered, or kind of like if something doesn't go their way, they can kind of like get a little pouty or like throw a fit over a little bit. This is kind of what we see with all fire moons. A Leo moon can kind of be known to be like a little dramatic, a little over the top, a bit of a drama queen at times. One of the things that I love the most about Leo moons is that they're just incredibly authentic. They really feel free to be themselves. They are themselves, and you can feel and see this in a Leo moon. Like you don't have to question if they're authentic. They just are. They can also be very animated. They're really good at self-expression. This is why Leo is known as like the performer and the star and the actor. So Leo moons can be very animated with the way that they talk. The way they express their emotions can be, again, a little bit dramatic or over the top. They really are a very exciting type of energy to be around. I love Leo moons. Virgo moons. So the thing with Virgo moons is that they really don't like emotions. Virgo moons are pretty emotionally detached most of the time. Here's the thing with Virgo. Virgo is all about practicality. Practical, analytical. Virgos enjoy, like literally enjoy doing like the boring tasks that none of us want to do. Like they enjoy work. They enjoy getting things done. They love to have like a to-do list and like check it off their list. They are also pretty like perfectionists. They really pay attention to detail. So again, Virgo enjoys like straightening out their lives and having every detail perfect and just like doing these tasks and these jobs that like nobody else wants to do. They enjoy running errands. They enjoy paying bills. They enjoy doing like things around the house and like literally Virgo moons are the people who have like spreadsheets where they've budgeted down to their last cent. Like I've literally seen Virgos do these things, which is great. We need these people. We really do. Like if you need your taxes done, if you need your life straightened out, like practical things, not your emotions straightened out, but like if you need to get your finances in order, call a Virgo moon. Like they not only will they help you, but they will literally enjoy it. The other thing too is that Virgo moons don't like being the center of attention. They do not. They are like, they're just disconnected from emotions and they don't want the focus to be on them. Virgo's all about being of service to other people. But there's a very specific type of service that Virgo is into. It's the practical things. So I always say that if a Virgo, sun, moon, Venus, rising, whatever, if a Virgo is like going out of their way to do things for you, okay, like boring tasks or helping you organize something, that means that they like you. That is literally their love language. That is how they show their love. So you're not going to get that like emotional intensity, that emotional vulnerability from a Virgo moon. They will show their love in very, very practical ways. I just find that Virgo moons are just not very comfortable getting in touch with their emotions. Like I think of Virgo moon as like the type of person who like you say I love you to them and they're like thanks. You know what I mean? Like they're not into it. Virgo moons also usually don't really like to be touched. They don't like PDA. They're just not into that like intimate, sensitive, emotional, vulnerable stuff. They don't like it. Like some Virgo moons even get like grossed out by people like being too close or being too physical. They thrive on a routine. So if there's like surprises that come up or things that throw them off of their routine, this can kind of send Virgo moons like into a frenzy and they don't really know how to handle it. They need that structure, that routine. They need to know how their day is going to play out. The way that they feel loved, the way that they express love is by feeling like they are needed in a practical way. I feel like I've said practical 1,000 times, but that is Virgo. So moon in Libra, this is another great moon placement. So Libra moons, first of all, they are all about harmony, balance, fairness, justice, doing the right thing. Libra moons will always kind of like look at a situation and think of all the parties that are involved. And before they make a decision, they'll really think about, okay, what is the right thing to do? What is the fair thing to do? They're really great people. Libra moons are also very charming. And part of that is because Libra does have a tendency to be a people pleaser. This is something that all Libra placements have to watch out for. I'm a Libra rising, so I get it. Libra does tend to be a people pleaser because Libra doesn't like disharmony. They don't like conflict. They want everybody to be happy. And what happens is, in an effort to keep the peace and keep everybody happy and be fair to everybody, they'll sometimes sacrifice their own needs and their own emotions, which will turn them into a people pleaser. They will say yes when they really want to say no. And that's something Libra, especially a Libra moon, since it is so connected to our feelings and our emotions, that's something a Libra moon really needs to kind of take control over and learn to set boundaries and learn to put themselves first sometimes. They're also very stylish. They're very trendy. They like the nicer things in life. Of course, Libra is ruled by Venus, which is the planet of beauty and luxury and, money and all that good stuff. So Libra moons tend to have really great style. They're very classy. They're very elegant, very good at talking. They're really, really pleasant people. They're pleasant to have around. They're pleasant to communicate with because they really don't like conflict. They don't like arguing. Again, they're just so all about being fair to everybody involved. Libra is a sign that's all about partnerships. So a Libra moon can really thrive in a relationship. Libras tend to be them best selves when they are working with others. It's a very unique thing about Libra. And because of this, they do a really great job of relating to other people. One of the things Libra moons are probably most gifted at is that they have this really strong diplomatic type of energy to them. They are like the peacekeepers. They're the mediators. There's a reason why Libra is the scale and all about justice. They're a really balanced person. They're very balanced emotionally. They really, really value harmony. I would say for a Libra moon, what's most important to them on an emotional level, so like if you're in a relationship with a Libra moon, they really need that reciprocation, that balance, that fairness. So Libra has a really great ability to kind of assess a situation using half logic and half intuition. They do tend to be pretty flirty. One of the things I notice about Libra is that they kind of get this reputation of being ditzy, and I will say, and I know I'm biased because I'm a Libra rising, but Libras are not ditzy. They're just very happy-go-lucky most of the time. And again, kind of flirty, flirty and charming. So I feel like sometimes they come off as being ditzy, but that's really not the case. So yeah, Libra moon is a really great placement. Okay, Scorpio moon. I just laugh every time I talk about Scorpio because it's like we all know what's coming. So, okay, Scorpio moon. This is a very complex moon sign, as is everything with Scorpio. Scorpio is very, very multifaceted, very layered. Let's just say that. Some of the key traits of a Scorpio moon is that they are very powerful, intense, passionate, very deep, pretty mysterious. They can be suspicious. They can even be paranoid. A Scorpio moon is someone who is unafraid of the dark depths of emotions. They face their emotions head on. Now, the thing with Scorpio moon is that they really need to be in control of their emotions. They need to have the power. They need to have the control. They don't want their emotions to take over. This is very important to a Scorpio moon. Scorpio moons are very mysterious. They can be very hard to read. In fact, they can be impossible to read. You will find yourself not being able to figure out what is going on in a Scorpio moon's mind. Scorpio moons tend to also have some darkness in there. These people have usually gone through pretty dark, intense things in their lives. Scorpio is the sign that is all about transformation, death and rebirth. These people can radically transform. So Scorpio moons will go through like really intense, dark, crazy stuff in their lives, but then they really can transform and like transmute that energy and become stronger and wiser and more powerful. Scorpio moons can be a bit possessive, obsessive, paranoid, and that's something that's important for Scorpio moons to kind of understand about themselves and watch out for. They can be very suspicious. They can have a hard time trusting people. One of the things that Scorpio will not put up with and cannot stand is being betrayed, being lied to. These people don't do well with betrayal, and they can become scorned and hold a grudge and plot your death. Or not really, but a Scorpio moon is somebody who somebody will cross them, and a Scorpio moon will think of how they can get revenge. Now, of course, if you're, a very evolved Scorpio moon, if you're a very mature Scorpio moon, if you really have a good handle on your Scorpio moon, you probably do not immediately think, how can I seek revenge on this person? But they are capable of it. You don't want to cross a Scorpio moon. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. Scorpio moons can be manipulative. They just know how to get what they want. They know how to get the truth out of people. Scorpio moons can kind of like get people to spill their deepest, darkest secrets, but then they won't tell you anything about themselves. They have this bizarre way of doing this. Very mysterious. People want to know more. People are kind of just like drawn to Scorpio moons because they just want to know what's going on in that mind of theirs. Scorpio moons also do tend to be very into psychology and why people do things the way they do. They love to like dissect people's brains, probably literally. Scorpio moons do also tend to be interested in and kind of have like a natural pull towards the occult. Towards like other realms of existence, magic, witchcraft, you know, tarot cards, all sorts of different like magical, unknown, kind of like taboo sort of things. They're also very empathetic. They're empaths. They can pick up on the feelings of other people, and it's because they are so unbelievably in tune with their own feelings because they are not afraid of their feelings. Like I said, they will go to the darkest depths of their souls, and they have seen some crazy things in their lives. They are very good at identifying emotions in other people. That's a very deep, intense, transformative, and kind of mysterious moon placement. Sagittarius moon. So the first things that you need to know about Sagittarius moon is that these people really, really value, and it is very important to them, they really value their freedom, their independence. They're incredibly spontaneous. They march to their own beat, however that goes. They march to the beat of their own drum. They absolutely love to expand, to be spontaneous, to go out there, to travel, to see the world. They love to learn. Sagittarius moons can be very into like philosophy, religion, spirituality, anything that expands their mind. They really love to learn. They love to experience life. They have this zest for life. Let's get on a plane and go to Vegas right now. Let's go to Dubai. These people are very optimistic. There is no such thing as an obstacle for a Sagittarius moon. Whatever they want to achieve, they're going out there and they're doing it. And they have such an optimistic outlook on it. They just believe that it's going to work. And so that's kind of why things just do work out for them. They really have a very optimistic mindset. They are ruled by Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion, good luck, fortune. They really like to be around people that are exciting, spontaneous, people that want to have fun. This is a very fun moon placement. As long as they do not feel tied down or caged in, they will be very happy, very excited, very fun, but they really value their personal freedom. That's like the most number one important thing to a Sagittarius moon. Like you're not gonna go and just like lock this person down and start telling them what to do and trying to change them. Like they're not going to give you the time of day. They're just not doing it. You're not gonna change their mind. You're not going to hold them back in life. They will just be like, see ya, I'm out of here. They tend to be very outdoorsy, again, very adventurous, love to travel. They love to be outside. They just love to do spontaneous, fun things. Like you would see a Sagittarius moon doing like extreme sports, going surfing, always up for an adventure. They are so focused on like the excitement and adventure of life that Sagittarius moons can be forgetful. They can kind of be forgetful about like the mundane, like everyday things. This is not your Virgo moon. They are just like go, go, go. They're just out there having fun, living life, very, very spontaneous. I keep saying that, but it's just the word that comes to mind when I think of Sagittarius. A Sagittarius moon actually feels like the most secure when they like don't have responsibilities. They just really don't like to be tied down and held back by like boring life stuff or boring people that try and like control them. They really want to be free. And that is when they are their best self. Another thing with Sagittarius moon, they're incredibly open-minded. They're open to ideas. They love to learn about people. They're great to have a conversation with because they're really open-minded. They are very just like accepting of, you know, however you want to live your life is cool with a Sagittarius moon because like they're doing their thing. They really like their life to kind of be like always changing and new and exciting. You kind of can't like predict what a Sagittarius moon is going to do because if they have an idea and they want to go do something, they're just going to do it no matter like how random it might be. Another thing about Sagittarius moons is that they do not care what other people think about them. Like Sagittarius could give two craps what anybody thinks about them. They are making the most of their life. They're enjoying life and, you know, whatever they want to do, they're going to do it. Whatever they want to wear, they're going to wear it. They're fiery, they're passionate, they're exciting, they're really just free spirits. That is a Sagittarius moon, free spirit. They have a ton of energy. These people are very, very energetic. They're usually pretty lighthearted. They go with the flow, but they also kind of go with they have their own flow. They do their own thing. So Sagittarius moon is definitely a placement where you need freedom, you need independence. They are very outspoken. They're blunt. This is fire sign energy. They're blunt. They tell it how it is. And so sometimes they can come off as kind of being like a jerk or an asshole, honestly. But that's because they just like, they say it how it is. They speak the truth. They're not going to sugarcoat anything. So if a Sagittarius moon seems to be kind of like mean or harsh, don't take offense to it. That's just how they express themselves. And the thing is, like, they keep it real. They're truth seekers. So whatever they say, they're saying it because it's their truth. Like, they're not going to sugarcoat for you. They're not going to like try and protect your feelings by not saying how they really feel. So that's something that I really actually appreciate in a Sagittarius moon. They just keep it real. And, you know, they're not trying to sugarcoat anything. They're just telling it how it is and staying really true and authentic to themselves. Capricorn moons. So Capricorn being an earth sign, this is another very stable, practical, grounded energy. Capricorn moons, they really value tradition. They really value family, and they're really all about having a foundation. So you know, like a stable home to come home to, a stable career. Capricorn really is very much about money and finances and, you know, like education and business and career. One of the things about Capricorn moons is that they are usually known as being cold and distant. Capricorn is not very expressive with their emotions. Capricorns, though, they're very stable, they're very relatable, they're very reliable. They really do love to provide for other people. So something really important to a Capricorn moon is that they will want to provide for their family. They value like being the breadwinner. It's really important to them that they provide stability and security for the people that they love. And that's kind of their love language. That's kind of how they express love, is by keeping you safe, giving you a shelter over your head, and, you know, enough finances to take, you know, good care of yourself and live a really great life. They can kind of be uncomfortable expressing their emotions. And this is more of an introverted moon sign. They really are more so focused on achieving goals. That's kind of what makes them emotionally fulfilled, is like climbing up that mountain and achieving their goals and being like, you know, look at what I did. Here is my success. Like, that is really fulfilling to a Capricorn moon. So they can kind of have like a sobering, almost like stoic type of energy to them. They just don't really show emotion very well. But I want to make it very clear that that does not mean that they are like emotionless. Capricorn really do have big hearts, and they are very caring. They're very understanding. They're really easy to talk to, but they're just not as emotionally expressive as some of the other moons. They're not as in touch with their emotions, and they just don't really feel like showing their emotions and being really sensitive is productive. They're really about building and achieving and goals. And so to a Capricorn moon, they can almost kind of feel like their emotions get in the way of that. They don't want their emotions to cloud their ability to achieve their goals and to be successful. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, which is all about restrictions. So they are just like very careful about showing their emotions. Capricorn moons have like an authoritative type of energy to them. They kind of like take control of situations and almost kind of come off as like a parental authority type of figure. So they're just very reserved. That's a great word to describe a Capricorn moon. The Capricorn moons they're really good at hiding their emotions. They will hide their emotions like behind sarcasm. They're selective. Capricorn moons are very selective with who they kind of open up their energy to. And they're very serious. So a Capricorn moon will have a hard time like if somebody has an emotional outburst, if somebody is like overly emotional around a Capricorn moon, it really kind of makes them uncomfortable. They see that as being kind of like immature and unnecessary. They're very in control of their emotions. They're very reserved, and they don't let their emotions get the best of them. So they really enjoy, like in a relationship, they're gonna thrive with somebody who is mature, who's serious, who's goal-oriented. They're serious about life. They value hard work. Capricorn moons, they really, believe that success should be a result of hard work and dedication. So yeah, Capricorn moon can be a bit distant and a bit cold, or they kind of come off that way. They're not actually cold, but to other people it can seem that way. They really do value stability, safety, security, and tradition. Aquarius moon. So this is an interesting moon placement because it's very cliche to say about Aquarius, but this really is the true essence of Aquarius energy. Aquarius is very detached. So when we're talking about emotions and feelings and vulnerability and letting your walls down, an Aquarius moon is emotionally detached. Aquarius moons tend to struggle with identifying their emotions. They tend to have a hard time acknowledging their emotions, like even to themselves. They are a bit of like the escapist. They really love to retreat. They value their alone time and their independence. They need to have that alone time. The way that an Aquarius moon will kind of react in an emotional situation, it can be like they kind of shut down or that they check out. That's a big thing with Aquarius moons. They will kind of check out of the conversation, which can be difficult for the person on the other end because it can almost seem like the Aquarius moon is just like they don't care, like careless. But that's really not the case. It's that they have a hard time accessing their emotions. So when they're in an emotional situation, they don't really know how to navigate it very well. It's uncomfortable for an Aquarius moon to really get in touch with their emotions. It's uncomfortable for them to feel their emotions. So a lot of times an Aquarius moon won't even be able to identify what it is they're feeling because they're so used to detaching. Another thing about Aquarius moon though is that they are very intuitive. So Aquarius loves to observe people. So even if you think they're not paying attention, they are. They are very observant. And so they pick up on very small cues. It isn't the type of intuitive where it's like you're an empath. It's not so much that. It's more so that they can just like logically pick up on the cues that someone else is giving off. It's actually a pretty interesting type of like intuitive ability that Aquarius has, because usually when we think of intuition, we think of being able to feel emotions and being sensitive to energies, and Aquarius is pretty detached from that. But they are very intuitive just because they're so observant that they can really pick up on small changes, changes in like somebody's behavior or voice or just the way that they're acting. Aquarius is an interesting energy because Aquarius cares a lot about the big picture. They are very innovative, and a lot of Aquarius will be very much into the environment. They will care a lot about humanity and animals. But the thing is, they care so much about humanity as a whole, but like on an individual level, they don't have that same type of like care and compassion. It's really very interesting. They are innovators. They like to change the world, but they aren't so much focused on like the individual connection that they have with somebody else. But so as a result of this, Aquarius really is good at looking at the big picture of things. They're more concerned with the big picture and kind of like the lasting effects of things. So if you get into like an argument with an Aquarius moon, they will detach. They will need their alone time. They might kind of shut down, but they are very good at then looking at the big picture and coming up with a solution. They're not going to cut you off and cut you out of their life forever. They're going to think of, okay, I care about this person in the long run, so what solution can I, come up with to fix what's happening now? That type of vibe. Aquarius really likes to analyze why people do the things that they do. They're very unique, but yeah, they really kind of see like messy emotions as kind of like unattractive, like even in their own selves. They usually have a lot of interesting hobbies, things that they're really into, and that's kind of where they'll retreat into if they need to detach emotionally. They have their own quirks, they have their own way of doing things, they're innovative, they don't fit into the mold, they don't like tradition. That's the thing with Aquarius moons. I noticed a lot of Aquarius moons are like not really interested in marriage as much as maybe like a Capricorn. Aquarius moons kind of just want to create their own unique path. And it might even be something that's important to an Aquarius moon to kind of like break out of the mold, and they'll almost kind of like purposely want to do something different because they want to be original and different. They don't want to fit the trend or fit what's cool. It can be hard to read just because they are so good at detaching. An Aquarius moon can be really upset and you would have no idea. They're really, really good at kind of hiding their emotions because it's like their natural instinct to kind of just detach from them entirely. All right, lastly, we've got Pisces Moon. So Pisces Moon, the word that is always used to describe Pisces, especially Pisces Moon, is dreamy. Pisces Moons tend to, well, number one, they're incredibly compassionate. They are very sensitive. They really care about other people. They're incredibly empathetic, and they're always thinking about other people's needs and emotions, usually to the point where they neglect their own. They really are just so focused on how other people feel. And part of it is because Pisces moons are so sensitive to energies that they can't control the fact that they pick up on other people's energies. So Pisces moons are known to be empaths, and they literally can feel the emotions of another person as if it were their own emotions. This is something Pisces is instinctively able to do without trying. Pisces moons are known for being psychic. They are very intuitive. Pisces is very connected to the other side and to other realms. It's the 12th sign of the zodiac. It's ruled by Neptune, which is the planet of, illusions, and it's like the spiritual realm. Pisces moons are typically very spiritual, very psychic. They can be naive. They can wear rose-colored glasses. They really see the best in other people. So they're the type of person that like somebody could do really, really terrible things, but the Pisces moon still sees the potential and still sees the best in that person's. And a lot of times what happens with a Pisces moon is they will see somebody's potential to the point where they will kind of fall in love with what they think that person can be. Or, like they almost kind of create this image of who somebody is based off of the potential and the good qualities that they see in that person, even though that person might not be living in their greatest potential. They might not care to live in their greatest potential at that moment, but Pisces just sees that about other people. Pisces moon is incredibly sensitive. They can get their feelings hurt really easily, but something that's really awesome about Pisces moons and Pisces in general is that they are incredibly creative. So, these are like the artists, the musicians, the great psychics of the world. They're incredibly incredibly creative. And that is like the best thing for a Pisces moon. They really need to have a creative outlet to kind of filter all of the energies that they soak up around them. Pisces moons don't really live in like a linear way. They don't really see life in a linear way. And of course, you know, it depends on what else is in your chart. They're kind of known to like live up in the clouds. They like live in other dimensions and other realms. They're like very connected to the other side. But this makes Pisces moons really misunderstood. And they can kind of come off as like the weirdo outcast because they really just see reality in a way that is just like unlike most other people. They don't see reality. They see reality and all of the other realms of existence all at once. They can become withdrawn. Pisces moons can fall into like addictive patterns. They can struggle with like depression or addiction. You know, like if they don't really know how to manage their energy and their emotions very well, they definitely can kind of fall into like a dark hole. They really need like a healthy, safe outlet to express their emotions. They're incredibly compassionate, incredibly sensitive to everything, sensitive to energy, sensitive to the way that people just like breathe. Like they can just pick up on any little cue. They could pick up on energies. It could be very overwhelming for a Pisces moon to like be in a crowd of people because they're picking up on the energy of everybody else. But they are very mutable, so they can definitely like become chameleons and kind of fit in here and fit in there and be very like multifaceted. But they really have a lot of love to give. So a Pisces moon is a very intensely emotional, loving, and compassionate moon sign. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something from this. Share this video with anyone that you think would find it interesting, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.